Halmashauri ya SHA inaandaa kikao na wanahabari kujadili mustakabali wa afya nchini ikiwemo changamoto katika bima ya SHA inayozidi kukumba Wakenya. Kwa sasa tuvuke moja kwa moja tusikilize ni yapi ambayo yanajiri upande huo.
2,300 and the people who are importing went everywhere. They even talked to the media, but we stood firm. We've made sure that Kenya attains ML3, which was a mirage, by October this year. I think the last emission is coming next month. Am I right? Yes, the first week of September. Kenya has a huge manufacturing space. I mean, if you go to the one in Kilifi, Revital, it's exposed to India, it's exposed to the US, it's exposed to Europe. We have also stopped giving parallel importation permits. Am I right? Yes. Because people were bringing substandard drugs. People were bringing drugs that could affect the health of our people. Finally, Anthony did not ask you, you know, and my good brother from Standard, you know, I apologized. Mercy has apologized. You know, hii kizungu si yetu. So we have replaced it with the factual. So please, that one, tuko pamoja. Yeah. You know, we are a group that respects. But Anthony did not ask. You know, these characters out there, they are talking of 104 billion on this digital superhighway. And I want to ask here, and the accounting officers are here, where is 104 billion found in any of the budget estimates in the last 4 years? There's nowhere. So the element of government funding does not come in. The whole system has been built under PPP, and I think it's fee for service. I think I've explained. Finally, I think vision, somebody said vision 2030. Yeah, tomorrow we are going to discuss Vision 2060. So it's a good question. Vision 2030, where is the place for health? Vision 2030 was started by a very good president, President Kibaki. President Kibaki wanted to implement universal health coverage the way he did for free primary education. And those of you who were then in the media, you remember there was Ngilu Bill, which when it went to cabinet, because of the cartels in the industry and many other people, that bill could not survive outside cabinet. I was a member of parliament. It died. So universal health coverage was not implemented. I'm just picking the health sector under universal health coverage. Then comes President Uhuru Kenyatta. He wanted to implement universal health coverage. Mercy was part of the team. He started with 4 pilot counties of Isiolo, Nyeri, Kisumu, and Machakos. The same cartels couldn't allow person. And I was his leader of majority. And one morning he said, let's drop this thing. And we move on. But the bold leadership of President Ruto is today one of the signature projects and programs of this government anchored under Vision 2030. Housing was under Vision 2030. A better education model was under Vision 2030. Food security was under Vision 2030. Digitization of all government. Today, I think over 250 services, government services, have been digitized under e-citizens. All of us sitting here. As we sit here and listen to this, we are transacting on many platforms. All that have been achieved under, those were pillars and programs of Vision 2030. Now that they have been achieved under this administration, in fact, we can say that we are the ones who fully implemented Vision 2030. And now that it's coming to its own sunset days, That's why the president is saying, and visions don't belong to government. Visions belong to citizens. They belong to the private sector. They belong to the media. They belong to government. They belong to the farmer. They belong to the herder. They belong to the mama mboga. That's why the president is saying, as Kenyans, let us sit. And now that Vision 2030 sunset days are around, we plan for Vision 2060. So I think universal health coverage, and I think reducing maternal and newborn mortality rates in our country, making sure our mothers don't die, and we come to WHO numbers, making sure that all our hospitals are equipped and we reduce the referral logistics pathway, making sure that health is universal, making sure that our cancer numbers reduce. And that's what this government is doing, is the attainment of Vision 20. If I go to education, I'm not the Minister for Education, but let me speak for him. I mean, you know, people were asking, how is this thing of the new higher education model going to be implemented? Where is the funding coming from? I remember I was in government.
Naam, bila shaka mtazamaji, huyo ni Waziri wa Afya Aden Duale akizungumza katika shughuli hiyo ambayo inaendelea kwa sasa. Ni taarifa ambayo tunazidi kuandaa katika meza yetu ya habari. Taifa lina